Hello world, welcome to New Money Long Paper. The name is DJ Sbu, straight out of Cape Town in South Africa. And we're here to talk about money. On today's episode, we're talking how to have a money mindset.
Exactly. My name is Grey BTC, and we're here discussing new money and how to develop a money mindset. So maybe we can just take it back for you. Where did it start? When did you discover? Because when I think of DJ School, I think
Yeah.
about hustle, money already, right?
Yeah.
Like your name and money are just really synchronous already. When did you develop that mindset of just money, 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 hustle, hustle, hustle? When we know that from the communities that we come from, money is not really it's seen as a bad thing. There is an absence of it. People don't have it, but they need it, but they think that it's a bad thing. When did you decide to challenge the concept and say, no, I actually don't want the money? Yeah, well, when did that come?
I think on the previous episode we also mentioned that even the church
Yeah,
would say certain lies, certain lines that are associated with negativity as far as money is concerned, which then in turn ends up discouraging people in having a good relationship with money. So I was one of the people who also have who also had that thing of thinking to develop a money mindset is I couldn't differentiate between that and greed
right.
or that and you're a kid, so you don't know what's wrong, what's right, but these things are just so around you and this information all the time that you're not aware when. But now I can answer that question when I look back and say I developed it throughout all of my teenage years, even though I was not aware that I was developing. And I always
Yes.
write about it in my books. I
Right.
was brought up in a home where we used to sell. We used to have what we call a spaza shop.
Yes.
So after school, I'd be selling there. When
Yes.
other kids are out there playing, I used to get irritated with my parents. Like, I don't get a chance to go be with other kids.
Yeah.
I'm always here selling. But those are some of the things that developed me to have a money mindset.
Right.
At 12 years old, I was already counting money.
Yes.
People are buying, I'm checking change. You know what I mean? Like people are buying, I'm transacting.
Right.
That's why when I look at other brothers and sisters of Indian descent, or I look at other races, they are more exposed to money and their relationship is better than our African brothers and sisters, right?
Right.
But for me, that's how I developed that relationship by working at my parents' spaza shop. From the spaza shop to my mom's hair salon, from my mom's hair salon to me selling my own things. So all these years, I'm just so exposed to money. I'm exposed to money all the way up until now, where it has led me to become an entrepreneur. Little did I know
Right.
that I was developing a money mindset all those years. That's why even today, I always say to people, teach your kids young.
Yes.
Even when they're 6 years old, even when they're 5, 4 years, my daughter is 7 years old. She's already learning about money. She's learning, she knows what is to invest. She knows what is to save money. She knows what is money. She's, why? Because she's around somebody who speaks that language on an ongoing basis. Do you know what I mean?
Right. So that's a very good point also where you say, for someone to start early, and you mentioned about your early story because it really has an impact on you. On my side, early enough, I was lucky that my mother, we didn't have enough, we weren't rich or anything, just in the hood. My mother gave me a lot of responsibility when I was young with money, right? She trusted me with money. When I was 12, 13, she could give me her bank card to go to town and draw her money on her behalf. I knew where her money pouch in the house was. So I think that helped me to develop a healthier relationship with money that I never feel a shortage of. Even when I grew up a little bit and I ended up trying to earn money for myself, I never really had this destructive mindset of like, when I have money, I just want to buy the world. I just like it almost like I always feel like I had it. So it made me a lot more calmer about it than say my friends who were like they had a distant relationship with it, and when they have it, it was all about, oh, what are we gonna buy today? Okay, but speaking on now, how can you develop a money mindset? So that wasn't investing or anything. I just knew that okay, there is money, and you can always have money in your home. Nobody knows, and you really at least you know that you're safe. But she didn't teach me how to invest because she wasn't investing herself. Now to grow my money, to learn how to invest and keep it and all that. Those are things I had to learn for myself. So some of my journey on that angle was more tactical because I had to, read books and stuff, but I had to now eliminate things that are anti-money, right? I developed a good relationship, and I knew how money is perceived in our society. It's bad, it's evil, and all that. And I looked into all those things. To me, money is not evil; it's a good thing, and I started embracing it. And later on through my learning journey, I learned from people like you that selling is not a bad thing. You need to know how to sell. As black people as well, you grow up with this mentality that selling is you feel ashamed of selling. You feel uncomfortable to sell something to someone. But I realized that no, for you to have money, you transact. For you to win the transaction, you have to sell something. I started embracing selling. Then I started embracing having money and being comfortable to say, I want to make money. And then I had, using now other tactics like cutting down anti-money talk in my life. For example, I stopped watching television when I was 16 years old. I started living alone when I was 17, and I've never owned a television in my house. I don't watch the news. I don't want to watch ads or I don't want anybody who is selling me something all the time. I want to be the seller. So I removed a lot of negativity about things that are just destructive about it, right? So that's how I developed my money mindset. I started liking the game of just accumulating money, making money, not losing it. I like to make it. I don't like to really spend too much. I can spend when I'm investing, but I don't like to lose. When I'm spending on something else that it's really don't have a long-term value, I feel like I'm losing, right? So that's how I developed my money mindset. I'm still building on top of it's an ongoing process.
And some of the practical things that you can start doing, some of you guys know that information. It's information that is all over, it's everywhere.
Yes.
But some of you younger guys, things like affirmations do work. I'll put in the link on the description there at the bottom. You can click on my other podcast, The Hustler's Corner, where I have done the affirmations for you already. You can just copy on some of the things that I'm saying, and then you can say them in your own voice, where you say positive things to yourself on an ongoing basis over and over. And you record your own voice and you listen to those types of audio on an ongoing basis, where you are brainwashing yourself to believe that you are capable of money. You're good enough to have money. You are capable. You are worthy of having money. You are having money. You do have money. You are good enough. You are talented enough. You are all of these positive things, but that are affirmations specifically to deal with sort of slowly trying to change your subconscious mind and conditioning. And you add it towards money,
because
right?
it took a long time for us to get brainwashed this much, and it had just as much work as it has been put, even institutionalized, to take money out of our pockets. You should now go back and sort of now go, reverse that mindset back. So you have to put as hard time as possible, because look at how the churches have been telling us about money, then our parents and then schooling gave us wrong information about money. So to reverse all that damage, you really need to put in work, like you say, using affirmations and learning different tactics and just being disciplined about, if you really want to accumulate money, you need to be, like we say, we need to be in the money frequency, and you don't do things that are anti-money. Like, living beyond your means is anti-money, right?
I totally agree.
Right.
Living beyond your means, and things like, we did say on the other episodes, words are power.
Yes.
I say less and less, or I use the word spend less and less nowadays. I circulate money.
Yes.
And all the money that I circulate comes back to me multiplied.
Right.
I'm worthy of money. I'm wealthy. I'm rich. I'm a considerate multimillionaire. I'm a kind billionaire.
Yes.
I'm a grateful entrepreneur. I'm a successful money maker. I'm a rise abover. I'm a winner. I'm a conqueror.
Yes.
Those are some of the things that I say to myself. But also, let me also share this information as well, guys. The words that you say quickly. Don't always say spend, 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 because spending means giving it away. It's not coming. But I circulate money, meaning once I put it out there, it comes back to me multiplied, right? And then mentally, my mind always says, even when I know that I don't have money, I know there's just that, what do they call it? They call it a dopamine, right?
Dopamine.
When you get an SMS of money having come in, it changes your mood,
Exactly.
right? But you must always try and train yourself to always be in that mood. I know it's not easy, guys.
Yeah.
I know if you don't have money, even if things are going great, but at the back of your mind, there's just that thing you're with, I don't have money. Try and train your brain to get out of that zone. Try and not have your happiness rely on having money or
Yeah.
not having money. Try and have a consistent mental attitude that says to your mind, money won't control you. Your happiness will remain as you are because you know where you're going. You know that you are going to have money. You know that you already have that money, even if you don't have it yet.
Yes, that's really incredible. And what you said about having a consistent mindset is very important, because just as much as you must feel the dopamine all the time, you must also be able to control yourself to not switch up when the money is in, like to get excited. I think if there's anything that anybody would want to learn is to not how to not get excited sometimes with certain things,
Yeah.
because that leads to a lot of bad things. It's like if you're chilling today and you get R1,000,000, it's a good thing, but you should also be able to just be like, oh, okay, that's great. So one of the things that I taught myself is that if I get an amount of money that really is impactful to me, that makes me shake, I won't spend it for a month first until I get used to the idea of having that money myself. Then I can make a wiser decision of spending it later. Because the moment, what happens is the moment it hits your account, you're like, oh, I just got the money. What am I gonna buy now? All these immediate things that you don't even need, you're going out and you lose the money.
And sometimes you even spend it mentally, even before
Before
it
it
hits your bank
counts,
account.
exactly.
Yeah.
So my business partners already know that I'm not the person. I don't do accounting on projected income, never. Even if it's guaranteed that it's coming, I just don't calculate money that it's not in my pocket, you know. And another things I wanted to touch on was you mentioned something to do with spending and circulating.
Yeah.
I think that is, you could use those words because you're already in the money mindset. You know the difference already. So you know that, like the way you are right now, you can't really make a completely stupid money idea, you know. So you'll know that, you know, you're gonna put money where in the right places. When you put it out there, you know that it's circulating just to come back. But I think for some people, if you're still in the traditional brainwash mindset that we all have by default, there is spending out there where you're really just recklessly losing it. You're not circulating. You're not putting it out in a way that it's coming back. You're really just like, you put it out, it's gone. You know, which is not really the money mindset.
Yeah. That's not the money mindset.
Yeah.
And before we finish the episode as well, and I think this is what we need to do, guys. You need to tell us some of the people you'd like to have on the podcast, some of the people we should interview, some of the suggestions that you have to make the
Yes.
podcast better. We're only on our 3rd episode, and as soon as we are comfortable with ourselves, we'll feel now it's time to bring on guests, because we need guests to come and school us and teach us and train us and give us knowledge about money, how to become financially independent, how to create wealth. And that's why we've come up with this podcast. And lastly,
Yes.
if there's 2 books before we go to recommend to the people out there, what book would you recommend for them?
I would recommend, there's this book called The Alchemy of Finance, by a fellow called George Soros.
Okay.
George Soros is a trader. He actually almost bankrupted the Bank of England.
A lot of
in
people
England.
don't like
They don't like the guy.
George Soros,
It's exactly why I studied him, because I wasn't understanding why people don't like the guy.
Yeah.
But just like the money, why people say money is evil, or they would just create a conspiracy theory about something and then you end up believing it. Right? I studied the guy myself, and he has really good theories about reflexivity. He's a good philosopher. So I mean, you might not like him for whatever reasons you have, but it doesn't mean that he can't say the right thing. That's the thing. Even a broken clock can be right twice, they say, right?
Yeah.
So you might not like me, or you might not like Sbu, but I'm sure there's something that you can still pick up from us. So I look at it like that, you know. I'm not gonna not read your book because I heard that there's something about you that, you know.
Don't play the man, play the game.
Play the game, exactly. Yeah, yeah. I think
So it's The Alchemy of
finance, yeah,
by George Soros.
by George Soros. Yeah.
All right. I would like to recommend, guys, the most famous, the most popular. For those who haven't read it, I recommend. That's the reason why it's the most popular book all over the
Right.
world as far as finances is concerned. Even if you're 12 years old, you're watching this, even if you've read it before, go reread it. Even
Right.
if you've read it 20 times, go reread it for the 21st time. Rich Dad, Poor Dad
Yes,
by Robert
the
Kiyosaki.
classic. All right, guys, we'll see you on the next episode, and thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe and share this content a lot of money. I mean, there's a lot of people who need to learn about money, and we're figuring out together. So if you share the video, you just saved someone's money out there, and now they will jump on the long money game where we ride this wave together.
New money, long
Long,
paper.
long paper, exactly.